Aloha, this is Emily T. Gale for K-Lay TV, and we're having a wonderful day out here at the Mitsubishi Electric Championship at Hualalai, the season opening event for the Champions Tour. They have to have earned their right to come play in the event. 40 players earned that right. It is the coveted position to come out here and play in the Mitsubishi Electric Championship. We just watched the leaders tee off, David Frost and John Cook. We're going to be walking around talking to fans, spectators, the people that run the tournament, some of the players. And if you didn't make it this year, we hope this will give you that excitement to come on out next year for the Mitsubishi Electric Championship at Hualalai. Okay, right now we're with Roger Chapman and his wife Kathy Chapman. I met them briefly in Detroit when Roger, this past summer in August, when he won the U.S. Championship, the Open Championship, the seniors, and a couple months before in Michigan he had won the PGA Championship, earning the right to come to the Mitsubishi Electric Championship for 5 years. And I got a chance to talk to Kathy in Detroit. Roger, I didn't get to talk to you, but talk about being here, your first year, and you've got a few more years left.
Yeah, I've got a little timeshare here for 5 years. So no, it's a wonderful place. Reminds me very much of a place we go to Mauritius, with the palm trees, and the golf on the golf course on the sea, and it's a beautiful place, and everybody's been so friendly. It's just almost can't wait to get back for next year.
And Kathy, I know when I saw you in Detroit at the conclusion after Roger had won, you were excited about coming to Hualalai like every Champions Tour player is when they earn the right to come to this event.
Yes, well, it was such a surprise that we'd get 5 years exemption, but no, he's done really well, and I'm really grateful. It's just the most wonderful place.
And Roger, you created a little history, winning 2 major championships on the Champions Tour last year. I mean, what a run you had at it.
Yeah, no, it was great. First Englishman to win either championship, so that's very proud, and to be the 4th player only to hold 2 in the same year behind Nicholas, Irwin and Player is it's a bit mind-boggling, but very, very proud of myself. And as I say, we've got 4 more years here, so it can't be too bad, can it?
And what it shows is just what a global game the game of golf has become, not just on the PGA Tour, but on the Champions Tour. Mark McNulty, I mean, there's a number of people that are now playing on the Champions Tour and playing very well. So it's wonderful because you all had good careers on the European Tour and whatever tours you played before coming here, and it's just wonderful to see.
Yeah, that's right. There's lots of guys that have played PGA Tour, European Tour, and their longevity. They're playing senior tour now, and it's a good mix. We're enjoying it.
So family members with you here at Hualalai, here at the Mitsubishi Electric Championship?
Not this year. They're really busy at home, but we've scheduled for next year, and we've told them they need to come. We'd love to have them with us, our 2 sons, yeah.
Well, the reason Kathy and Roger get to come again, because as we said earlier, they have to earn the right to play in the Mitsubishi Electric Championship here at Hualalai, the season opening event for the Champions Tour. But anyone who wins a major championship has a 5-year exemption. So Kathy and Roger are going to be here for a few more years, and hope to see you in that winner's circle.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
Okay.
Thanks very much.
Great. Thank you. Thanks, Kathy. Nice to see you both.
Thank you.
Aloha. Okay, now we're with Donna Flugel out here at the Mitsubishi Electric Championship at Hualalai, the 3rd and final round, and Donna's one of the residents out here, and she's had some good years where she's played in the Pro-Am, but she's such a supporter of this event. And talk about it as a resident of Hualalai, how much it means to everybody.
I think it is one of the greatest events all time, probably worldwide. When we first moved here, I was not a golfer. Never was going to take up golf. I told my husband it's not a sport. And years later, for some reason, I decided to take it up. I met this pro and I said, you got me twice a day, 3 times a week. And did it, an hour each time, and took down notes. And once she got me out there, I'm hooked. I have loved the people I have met. It's just the most wonderful sport one can ever imagine being a part of.
And it's such a testimonial for women playing golf. Just what you said about yourself, not feeling enthusiastic about the sport, then getting a little taste of it, learning to love it, and encouraging other women to play. Because everybody, we were talking with Jay from the Golf Channel's Learning Center this morning, and even the Golf Channel speaks to the professional golfer and the seasoned golfer. They're trying to grow the game just like all of us are.
And golf is a great equalizer. You can play with people from maybe a head of state to someone in entertainment, Wall Street, and someone just local who is just part of the community and has a normal job, and we're all out there having fun together and hoping to sink that ball in the hole.
And Donna Flugel, she's had some good days out there playing in the Pro-Am here at the Mitsubishi Electric Championship over the years. There's always a few spots for the Hualalai residents because in many ways they give up their neighborhood here for all of us to come out and enjoy the Mitsubishi Electric Championship at Hualalai. Who are some of the players that you've played with in the Pro-Am?
Well, I have played with Bruce Vaughn, Tom Watson. He's bigger than life on the course. I can't even begin to tell you what a great guy he is. I was so impressed. He was right, female. He comes marching along and he's standing right at the tee box next to me and watches me hit that ball as if, I had a big play in the game. And actually we won. It was the best year.
Yeah.
It was the best year. Who would have ever thought? I didn't. I just wanted to do my best because I was playing with him.
So, whether you've never played golf before, you're a recreational golfer that's kind of taken a little break from the game, this Mitsubishi Electric Championship at Hualalai is here every year. It's a wonderful opportunity for all of us to come out and see some of the best golfers in the world. And Donna Flugel, we met through golf. So Donna and I both say aloha.
And come on out and enjoy it.
Okay, so we've been talking all morning about how players have to earn the right to come to the Mitsubishi Electric Championship at Hualalai for the season opening event on the Champions Tour. And I mean, they have to play well, win a tournament, have won a major tournament. And last year's, the person that I was really drawn to was J. Don Blake. He had 19 family members here. And he was two out. He was runner-up of the tournament last year. He was 2 shots behind Dan Forsman, who won. But more than that, the aloha that their family shared last year was amazing. This year, he came back with 26 of them, all here. And this is Marcy, Jay's wife, and also his caddy. And let's see, Cody, I've met, and Patrick. Patrick has a show on ESPN in Utah, and all these kids, nieces, nephews. What's the little bit?
Patrick's the son. His wife Jennifer. 2 kids, and then this is my other daughter there, Miranda.
Okay.
A niece, her husband back behind, and then they got 4 kids right in here. Okay. And then my daughter here, Bridget.
Hi, Bridget.
Husband Carson, his 2 kids, and another one right here for 3. And you said Cody, daughter Jamie, and Jordan, and where's Malia? Malia's over here. And then we've got Kim and Fred.
Kim is
She's
Jamie's mom.
the mom of my 2 older daughters.
So what I think is so neat is that you stayed down in our sweet village of Kailua Kona down by Magic Sands, that you all got a little flavor of our community down there. And did you get, well, it was disappearing sands this week, wasn't it? It was rocks. But I'm just assuming that you've all gotten out around the community down in Kailua Village, and some of your favorite things about being here on the Big Island.
Being able to go scubaing and snorkeling.
All right, down at Kahalu Beach, probably? Yeah, and how about yourself? What's your favorite thing?
Just being at the beach.
Yeah, touche on that one. What's your favorite thing?
Watching my uncle play golf.
Wow, how about that? So did everybody go out and watch Jay? Paid him to say that. And what is really special for you? I mean, it's one thing to come out here and really focus on playing the tournament, but to focus on making it a family reunion and sharing as much as you do to the community is really wonderful. So talk about that a little bit.
We're just grateful to be here, and to be able to bring our family is priceless to us. And to give back to the community is really big, and to be here at this tournament, you're in paradise. I mean, what more can I say? It's just amazing.
I know one person that is very happy. Yay! Hey, Chick, come here, Chick. Chick.
Come here.
Chick.
He's part of our family.
Come on. So Chick Kunataki from Bayaha River Coffee Company kind of took a liking to the Blake family last year, and so he's been following them around every day.
We're part of the family.
So we've got other people coming on the 18th hole here now, but Chick, it's been a special week for you too, hasn't it, Chick?
Yeah, because of them. I love it. I love this family. 22? 26 is huge.
So from the Big Island community and, you know, everybody that you've you have crossed since you've been here at the Mitsubishi Electric Championship at Hualalai last year and this year, I just want to extend to you, you know, you really know how to live aloha. And it's been wonderful. You've shared it with so many people in the community, and it's just a very special thing. What's your exemption status as far as the Mitsubishi Electric Championship?
I'll be able to come back next year. So they give you a 2-year status if you've won, and I won last year, so I've got this year and then one more, and hopefully I can win some more and keep coming back. And I'm not sure if the whole family's all coming or not, but if we can work it out, we'll see what we can do. But we all love coming here. Everybody has a great time, and you know, it's a good thing for myself to give back to, you know, the people that have supported me, and it's nice to take them on a trip and let them enjoy it. And I'm glad they went out and enjoyed the activities around Hawaii with the beach and snorkeling and wakeboarding and whatever they were doing out there while I was working. So I'm glad they went and did that. Usually they just come out and watch every day, but I'm like, no, go enjoy yourself. Enjoy what Hawaii is all about. They went up and seen the volcano and did the whole tour, 5-hour trip. So it was nice for them to get out and do that, and I'm glad they enjoyed themselves. And you know, it's just a pleasure to have everybody here and being part of this big family and you know, and giving back to the community of Hawaii.
So it's J. Don Blake, and as Jay said, you know, he gets a 2-year exemption when they win a tournament. If you can just keep winning one every year, we're going to see you for a couple of years at a time, right? And had a great PGA career, and isn't it a wonderful thing to be able to come out here on the Champions Tour? It's you guys that made the PGA Tour. You're the ones that, you know, did what you did to create those large sponsorships everybody sees, and it's so nice to see that parlaying into the senior tour. Mike Stevens has done a great job creating sponsors during a difficult economy, and actually ended up with one more event this year, I think. So 2 more. I mean, that's amazing, and what a great job Mitsubishi Electric does here at the Mitsubishi Electric Championship at Hualalai. What wonderful sponsors they are for the Champions Tour.
Yeah, they've been a great sponsor. I mean, I played last year with some of the guys that were involved with it, and you know, I've took some videos of their golf swing, and so now we keep in touch with emails from Japan and to here. So you know, you make some good friends out here, and you know, the Mitsubishi, they claim themselves as a family also, and that's the way they are. They're just one big family, and you know, they've welcomed us here to be part of their family too. So you know, we're just adding to their family. So it's pretty nice to have them part of this tournament.
Well, there's someone putting out there, so we'll all say it very quietly, but we all say to the community, aloha. And we're down at the Media Center, and for 18 years, Bill Verbrugge and his wife Nancy have been a mainstay down here for the Media Center and the PGA media officials. So Bill, talk a little bit about your 18 years as a volunteer at the Media Center.
Well, the great thing about it is we meet a lot of great players, and I go out and get them off the golf course to come down here and be interviewed, and it's actually a privilege instead of a job.
Now, you were the PGA professional at the California Golf Club.
Correct.
And for many years, very prestigious golf club. And I never forget the year George Archer won. Right. And he had been one of your club members. So you really you've spent a lot of time with some high-profile players. And that's what was so great about you and Nancy volunteering for the press room. They've wanted you back every year because you have a knowledge of the game and the players and know how to handle yourself around the media room.
Well, I think you were the one that directed us here.
I was.
It worked out perfect.
Yeah, I knew when I met you that you were the right guys to work in the media room because of your knowledge about PGA players and the PGA Tour and your background in golf. So it's been a wonderful contribution that you've given to the Mitsubishi Electric Championship here at Hualalai. The volunteers are an essential part of every PGA Tour event. You know, it's the monies that are raised that go back into our community, and it's because of the volunteers that a lot of money can be raised. Some last thoughts about you and Nancy? You always say Nancy does all the work, but I think you're a pretty darn good team.
Well, mine is just at the end. She does it all day, so No, we really enjoy it.
Yeah, and
we know everybody, and it's kind of nice.
Right to the point that before the tournament, they even ship some of the materials to Bill and Nancy's house just because it's easier. They know it's going to get out here in time and everything. So, very essential part of every PGA event, and certainly very essential part of the Mitsubishi Electric Championship here at Hualalai. The volunteers organized by the Rotary Club of Kona, which includes all the Rotary clubs going out and getting volunteers. They don't have to get them because there's always a bit of a waiting list. People come from the mainland. They come from all over the island to be a volunteer at the Mitsubishi Electric Championship at Hualalai. The PGA Tour says they're some of the best at any of their tournaments. And now we're with Jay Radzevich. How'd I do, Jay?
You did excellent. Perfect, Emily.
Now, Jay is with the Golf Channel, and for all those of you that watch the Golf Channel, and you may not know, the Golf Channel was created by Arnold Palmer and his very good friend Joe Gibbs, but not the Joe Gibbs of the Washington Redskins. And I met Jay a number of years ago as he was with the Golf Channel. And what I love now is he is out there producing some great shows. You see it every week on the Learning Center with all the Champions Tour players, PGA Tour players, and a lot of things of interest. For instance, this week during the Mitsubishi Electric Championship at Hualalai, as we mentioned earlier when we were talking with Brian Going, some of the Champions Tour players went up to Nanea Golf Club to help raise funds for the Hawaii State Junior Golf Association. Jim Saunders, the general manager at Nanea, Mary V. Porter King, what a wonderful event they put on. And Jay, you produced a show that'll be running this week and probably throughout the year, maybe even for the Learning Center.
We did. We went up with David Marr of the Golf Channel, and he hosted the clinic. It was outstanding as it's been in years past. I think they had a dozen players or around that number this year. And this week on Learning Center, we're going to go in depth with Hale Irwin. So we're going to do a little snippet from the clinic with Mr. Irwin. And throughout the year, some of the material that we gathered up there will be shown as well.
Now, your wife, Maureen, I get her newsletter every week, the Champions Tour update. Give us a little background about how you two got involved with the Golf Channel. Well, it has such a great history, doesn't it, with Arnold Palmer having been the creator. I remember when people laughed about it before it got on cable, and it took a long time, but he was determined to have that all 24-hour golf station.
Absolutely. You know, Emily, it's been 18 years. We just celebrated our 18th anniversary of the Golf Channel last week. So we've gone from, a little backyard operation basically to a worldwide audience. I think we're in 80 plus countries, millions and millions of viewers, and it's a real substantial network now. As far as my own individual association, a friend of mine that I was working with in local TV took a job there. He lured me to the Golf Channel about 11 years ago, and by that time they were pretty stable. They'd taken the turn to the path of where they were, or where they are now, and just latched onto them. Maureen, my wife, as you mentioned, works for the PGA Tour, and we met actually out on the road on a Champions Tour event. And so, we're just so indebted to the Golf Channel for everything that they've done for me, my fellow employees, and everything. It's just a terrific place.
And what they've done for the average recreational golfer. I mean, the thing about the Golf Channel, I used to say it in the early years, was the Golf Channel was introducing the sport of golf to people who were softball players, fishermen. They were really bringing it into the homes of people that were recreational athletes but really didn't have a knowledge of the game of golf. And the Learning Center, what is nice about it is it speaks to the seasoned golfer, the professional golfer, but it really speaks, because we're trying to grow the game of golf, and it speaks to the new golfer as well. Address that.
Yeah, absolutely. We want the low handicapper to watch these great world-class players, these Hall of Fame players, and offer insight to them. But we want the 30 handicapper, too, to latch onto the game and get excited about the game and learn the fundamentals from these great players.
Lots of initiatives going on by the PGA of America to grow the game of golf. Jay mentioned David Marr. David Marr, of course, his father was a wonderful PGA player, but also broadcaster, and was a great contributor to the game of golf. David has told stories about when he was a kid and traveling with the Nicholases, and their cradles would be the drawers of the motel rooms. He really knows this stuff. What's so nice about the Golf Channel is bringing people that have been with the game and can share the history of it. I think the history of the game of golf is so important to people to understand and appreciate the tradition and the honor of the game.
That's what's so great about the Champions Tour, because the players understand and respect the history of the game. I mean, you could talk to Ben Crenshaw for literally hours about the history of the game. It could be any facet of the game, and he'll have a nugget of history for you. And that goes right across the board for all the players out here. And of course, as you mentioned, David Marr loves the history of the game, and that comes out, I think, in each and every show on Champions Tour Learning Center.
So we're talking with Jay Radzich.
Radzavich.
From the Learning Center. You can catch him weekly. He produces the show that you see. He gets some of the, whether it's a PGA player, a Champions Tour player, but little tips from the golf course, and not just about golf, but a little bit about what the game can teach us in terms of just public relations, how to grow the game, how to bring other people in the game, mentorship. One of the most important things in anything in life, but in golf, I have my mentors. One of them just turned 90 years old. I think that's something that you all showcase a bit, because you talk to the players about who helped them when they were younger. You mentioned Ben Crenshaw. I mean, they all have someone that played a very important part in their lives as they were starting to play golf.
Absolutely, Emily. The great thing about the Champions Tour, and really bigger than that, the great thing about the game is from generation to generation, the stories are passed along, the instructions passed along, and the appreciation for the game.
So Jay and I are out here at the Mitsubishi Electric Championship at Hualalai. It's the 18th year. We've all made a lot of friends. He and I met here years ago as he was working with the Golf Channel, and we developed a friendship and I think a mutual respect to one another. And it's always a pleasure to see you, and it's always a pleasure to hand some 100% Vaiaha River Kona coffee in your hand. You guys really appreciate that. Thanks you so much.
We look forward to next year.
It's Jay and Emily for KLA TV here at the Mitsubishi Electric Championship at Hualalai, the 18th year. And we're at the Media Center at the Mitsubishi Electric Championship at Hualalai. We're with Dave Senko. Dave is the PGA Tour media official. I've had the pleasure of knowing Dave for many, many years, and he's a bit of a kama-aina because he went to college at the U of H Manoa. So, Dave, welcome, and some comments about being here. You don't get to come every year because your counterpart, Phil Stambaugh, has been here the last few years, but a delight to see you back this year.
Yeah, it's always fun to come here. As you mentioned, I went to school here, and I was at Sony last week, so it gives me an opportunity to just come back and visit some friends and just. I always enjoy coming to Hawaii. You can't beat. I live in Florida, but it doesn't hold a candle to being on the Big Island or on Oahu, actually.
Now, everybody always thinks that PGA media officials or Jay with the Learning Center, all of them. Wow, what a cake job! I got to tell you, it is not a cake job. These guys go from early morning till night. The amount of research. I mean, Dave is always at his computer that they put out. They're putting out tour notes every day. It just amazes me over the years as I've watched what kind of responsibilities you have on a daily basis, and you just go from one event to the next and one day to the next.
Yeah, we're gone, 19, 20, 21 weeks a year, and I just am finishing up 2 weeks here today, and then I'll go home tomorrow, and then I'm home for 12 days and then have another event in Florida. But I've enjoyed it. This is my 18th year. I guess I fall in the KG veteran category now, but it's been fun. I've worked with some great players over the years, and golf has been enjoyable. It's a lot different. I've worked in football and basketball before, but I really enjoy working with the golfers. They're very accommodating, and it's been enjoyable.
And what's really nice to see, of course, Phil Stambaugh, your counterpart, who's here other years, and yourself, like yesterday when you're doing your interviews with David Frost and John Cook, who are the leaders here this year at the Mitsubishi Electric Championship. It's day 3 right now, but you can feel their comfort with you and your knowledge, and those things make a lot of difference. When you start grinding out those second round news pieces, Ann Miller is trying to get a story out to go to Associated Press that's going to go out all over the world, and Joe Ferraro does a great job with West Hawaii Today. You got people you got writers all over the country. Nowadays, it's kind of real time. They're getting their information from you, and so it's what you put out that's so important and gets those stories out all over the world.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of work. I'm used to it. Like I said, I've been doing this for a number of years, and it's just having access to computers nowadays. It makes things much, much easier than I remember when I started as a student at UH. You were typewriters, looking in magazines or books to look something up. Now I could go to the computer, make a couple clicks, and I could see a guy's all-time record on the PGA Tour or the Champions Tour, what his low round is, what his, all these things that make it so much easier now. I mean, technology has, changed things dramatically.
Well, it's always a pleasure to work with you. It's Dave Senko, the PGA Tour media official, and we just mentioned earlier that Dave went to school at U of H, and yesterday you were talking about people that you were kind of reminiscing, and you brought up Joey Estrella's name. So Joey Estrella, of course, with the Vulcan Baseball at U of H here in the Big Island. What a wonderful contribution he's made to the sports community. Talk a little bit about some of the people that were part of your life at U of H and how you got in with the PGA Tour.
Well, I came here as a student. I worked in the athletic department for nearly 4 years when I was getting my degree. And you mentioned Joey Estrella. Joey used to live across the hall from me in the athletic dorm we had at the time, Hallie Nui Nui, which I believe now has been, they've incorporated students into it, but it was an athletic dorm. Joey was a baseball player. But I worked at UH, and then when I finished school, I got my first job at Yale University, and then just kind of worked my way up. Like most people in sports, you bounce around working in different things. I worked for the Buffalo Bills. I worked at the University of Washington, and I came to the tour back in 1995. I knew John Morris, who was our head of communications at the tour at the time, knew him from my college sports days, and that's how I ended up there. Started as a media official in November of '95, so it's been a long time.
I always like to share those stories with viewers because I think so often people think that it's just a very clear-cut black and white way, the path to jobs, dream jobs, what people see as dream jobs. And just for those of you out there, we talked to Jay, we talked to Brian Goyne. Brian Goyne was a tournament director, and now he's head of all the championship management. It just goes to show that life is about opportunities, and you pick something that you like, and you're willing to be patient with it and be flexible about where your life might take you, and you never know.
Well, I've spoken to many, many college students over the years when I worked in college and even when I've been in professional sports, just talking to students about how to get involved. I remember always telling them, get involved with something as early as your freshman or sophomore years. Too many students or kids in college wait till they're a senior and go, geez, what am I going to do next year? And I've told kids over the years, if you're at a university and they have a athletic department, go down and volunteer. If your interest is in sports publicity or marketing or operations, at least when you come out of school, you've got some tangible things on your resume and say, I've done this, this, and this. It puts you 1 or 2 or 3 steps ahead of some kid or student that may not have done anything. And again, I tell people, when you work, if you work in the athletic department, you never know who you're going to meet, whether it be a TV person that comes in and you may have to drive that person to the airport or be a runner. And that's how I got started when I was at UH in golf. I had worked the Hula Bowl doing stats, and I met Terry Jastro, who had done ABC Golf, and I started helping out at the Hawaiian Open when my first year in school, and did it for 4 years, and then eventually got some more experience in golf. I worked 3 or 4 major championships for ABC, just being a grunt guy doing stats and stuff, and that certainly helped me. When you put that in your resume, it makes a big difference.
And I think all those kind of things sometimes can have more merit than your 4 years of college, and certainly they add to it so much. I'm so glad to hear you say that and encourage people to be interns, but somehow get your foot in the door and don't wait until the end of those 4 years of college and hope that dream job is there. You create it, don't you?
Yeah, you just, whether it's, if you're at a college and you work in, like I did in the athletic department, or you go to a local radio station or TV station, you have an interest in broadcasting, just, walk in and introduce yourself and tell people what you'd like to do. And, you might get 3 or 4 doors closed and say, we don't have anything, but there might be someone that'll give you an opportunity that, you can't measure how important it is, just getting experience. And it's 1 or 2 or 3 more people that you could put on your resume that, I worked at place X, and I did this, and it's something that's going to definitely benefit you in the long run.
Dave Senko, PGA Tour media official here at the season opening event, Champions Tour, PGA Champions Tour, the Mitsubishi Electric Championship at Hualalai. It's always a pleasure to see you. I was glad to hear you had to come back here this year because it's kind of fun to catch up on things, and just a big aloha. Yeah. Really pleasurable.
Thank you, Emily. Okay. Appreciate it.